Leprosy is a chronic infectious disease caused by a bacterium called Mycobacterium leprae. This contagious disease is classified as one of the neglected tropical diseases (NTD) recorded in more than 120 countries. The disease predominantly affects the skin and peripheral nerves. Leprosy, if left untreated, may cause permanent disabilities. The Mycobacterium leprae bacteria are transmitted via droplets from the nose and mouth in close and frequent contact with untreated persons. Globally, 200,000 new cases are reported every year. In Ghana, 221 cases were recorded by the Ghana Health Service as at the end of September 2023, of which 7 were children, a situation that calls for a massive public health campaign if the country wants to totally eliminate leprosy. The World Health Organization's report on the Roadmap for Neglected Tropical Diseases 2021-2030 shows that a little progress has been made since the launch of the roadmap, but there is more work to be done to overcome obstacles if the 2030 target is to be achieved. Just as in other places, people affected by leprosy in Ghana are stigmatized and discriminated against, which makes it difficult for them to mingle and interact freely with the public, as well as being reintegrated with their families. During a visit to the various leprosaria in Weija, Ankafo and Ho, the news team observed that the inmates feel marginalized in their society since most of their family members feel reluctant to welcome them back home. In an interview with some of the cured lepers at the Ho Leprosarium, they pointed out that stigmatization and discrimination by society has made life difficult for them. According to them, some of their inmates attempt to venture into business field because the society feels reluctant to patronize products made by cured lepers due to the unfortunate perceptions about the disease. They lamented that their right of belonging to a society or family has been taken away from them because of their condition.
1995, do blibo yela mela nya do de makantro ju kaka do yela mela de ne le no viu ne le ameseso duma uno fau duma mau ta ina ba mikata nya ma hiu ka nya do le lo mi ha mi le mi ani ogbo la fi uma wana ne ka fufu so ne nya ba mi le mi to dum uma wa mbu wa de ka nyangu Nya amahiuka nyami haro amahiuka bomi la fia o homia tu kaka ni cho nya la magblan ma va yi koji sugar no fu dem nem kaka ukwa ba nke ofo na magblan ba le fa do na ma nya ta o da fu na ma le chi fu ko so tu fu le ado ga che da nya chi fu ma ta ne nyamba mi la mi koji ya la bana mi abale ko la bana ma so no ta manya mi kanya fuda da mi ta ja ne nyamba koji ro la mi ha nya gbo fi ha to akpa de mi anwa na anyu mo nya mi ka fuda mu ne mi la nya fo no no ma ngulu nya wa mi se nya wa mi ga do ko mu Fiana la fifia to babo bala kyo kaka o shawi ko asafava kami mo dore ko mo kangulu nya o nyang mi ka fuda mnami ngulu nya iko nyang mi ka fuda mnami babu yentom aba mare kama kpana da nyangu.
The United Nations states that everyone is entitled to all the rights and freedoms set forth in its declarations on human rights, without distinction of any kind, such as race, religion and culture, as well as social origin and other status. But the situation is different for people cured from leprosy. Their right of belonging to a society, let alone taking up leadership positions and other social activities, have all been denied indirectly. Some cultural beliefs also place barriers on cured lepers in Ghana and inhibit them from excelling. The rejection and discrimination meted out to these cured lepers invokes poverty on these unfortunate members of society. Their only savior is the government of Ghana's leap intervention scheme of a paltry daily allowance of 2 cedis for a meal to survive, which does not even keep pace with the prevailing economic conditions in the country.
Azon gawan nani hu tamu ka jama afia kwave odua ma onua ma odu mura bare no bia mi sebere ga de dem namia gare anyu namia na me no du da na ma me no blombe ma dana na ko 1.28
me fa fia ko woni me le mia be po me to gbola jire ke me no nyejom enwi ke ma du ha zu agba ewe be me va che dode me nyenya vi amenu veve abi me va jo be fia emi akata mi nye dono ne no vi o va gbo egblo nya de mi konu evo ne lo pe po me to gbola o enya ike wa ga gbo kra ana be dolela kra aga jire jin ta nye me ga kuna dri kra be po me to reke galasin me chofia kotrozu po nye me to ne me ku hala no dim fa ta nye pe nya nye be mia pe government e wa be enkonye mi ti jai me cho de ke le mena mia wo mi to ha me cho de ke le mena mi e vo ya nye president ipe kpedem to kra eva le de chom le mena mi ta mi le kuku dem ni be ne se mia pe kuku dede enya ike du comme vieux gbogbom kake me le sem na mi o mi le kuku dem mia pe vudo nya mia pe mo nya fudem na mi.
A volunteer at the whole leprosarium, Bright Atipo, feels frustrated about the rate at which families are rejecting their wards after cure.
I might say the stigma is still there because usually people outside, maybe in town, in market, at the hospital, they feel like, okay, once they have a contact with them, they also become one like them. But that is not true. These are cured people. They have been cured. First, they used to have the disease within them, but they have been cured now. But still, because of the deformity on their hand and their legs and other things, so once they go to the market, people don't even want to associate themselves with them. Because they feel like, hey, these are cured lepers, so if I tie them, maybe I also become one. So I might say the stigma is still there. As for their family, once in a while before you see them come here. So they are here as a community. They live with the people here as their family because they have each other. Because if they were to be with their families, they will separate them. Maybe when they go to their hometown, they have to keep them in a room. They will not even come out.
In an interview with the head of Leprosarium Ghana, Reverend Father Andrew Campbell, he also bemoaned the level at which families keep rejecting their affected relatives even after being cured. He said the only information the families want to have is the death of their infected relatives. He said people who are cured of leprosy need to be shown more love.
You'd hardly ever see a family member coming here. Hardly ever. The family won't accept them. You can't say my father has leprosy or my father lives in a leprosarium. They're ashamed. They're ashamed. But they will come back for the funeral. They'll give a big funeral. They won't help the person during when he's alive. They won't give him money for his support in his need. They won't do that. But when he dies, they will all come back. If you don't give one of the residents when they die, if you don't give them a decent burial, the disease will come back to your family and back to your village. So they're scared. So the way they've been treated, like when visitors come here, I always ask, have you greeted them? Have you greeted the people? No, they haven't. Next time, Father, I remember one group of big people, big, they came in their suits and their ties and I said, oh, let's go and greet them. Father, next time, when we come the next time, we'll greet them, not now.
The program manager of the National Leprosy Control Program, Dr. Benedict Okokwa, said when the disease is detected early, it helps to prevent permanent disabilities. He said the disease is curable, adding that his outfit had intensified contact tracing for people exposed to the disease, including active cases, as part of efforts to achieve a zero leprosy agenda by 2030.
This is a disease that people do not bring onto themselves. We are doing our best to bring down the disease, but people will still get the disease. We need to show them love. We need to show them respect. They need that show of dignity. They are still human beings, just like any disease, and we can cure it. Early detection, early reporting, completion of the medication. The disease is still there. Yes, we have the treatment, we are finding the cases, we are treating them, but we need to do more to stop the transmission. And that is why Ghana is one of the few countries that has started with this single-dose rifampicin. The whole world, Ghana is one of the leaders when it comes to using single-dose rifampicin. And so we need more support to keep it going, to be one of the countries to move from this number, low hundreds, then we get to zero.
A neglected tropical disease activist, Kofi Nyakun, advocated for skills training for cured lepers to enable them get back to the society.
Business in our name on family corner and any home. Tiankro Biana, I ready so Babua will be no. Pina, I ready so umbrella moko. Now so family way. Aha, and winting I am myself, or multitude to come. A quay be a liar, Benfaso at Sebi, or Baginia, and will be a few sua, or between your tran and Honenasan. Or member try and cancer Buddhian soon will be made in Bruni where we are now, Emo, or no one to between crowd to be a cochuobi.
Leprosy, like any neglected tropical disease, is curable, and cured lepers need love and not to be stigmatized by their families, friends, and the general public. Cured lepers want to be reintegrated into society and not marginalized. The laws pertaining to the freedom of such persons, especially the Disability Act, needs to be enforced now to make these cured lepers feel part of society.
Enti susudi ukomo chura masaye no bi kani dia chewa anka udia usui ka ubesudi ipina ripa wani miso ya uche bia no fansa akuko wani no bi nyawaye ripa wani